Hey, what's up? Hello, everyone. Welcome into Fantasy Filmball, the show where we turn movies into sports and sports into something we don't talk about here. My name is Matt.
My name is Dyl. Today, you already know what time it is. It is draft time. But before we dive into this, make sure to comment down below what your first overall pick would be for Disney princesses. Drop a like, drop a dislike, YouTube algorithm type stuff. It helps us out. But let's dive into this draft. Last week, we drafted best franchises, and I was given the L. I thought I had a pretty good team, but y'all didn't agree. So this week, we're switching up. Little Mermaid came out. We are drafting Disney princesses, and because I lost, that means Matt has the first overall pick. So Matt, we're going to start us off with here.
Now, before we begin, it has to be said, these are all going to be from the official Disney princess line. That means no Elsa, no Anna, because weirdly, you might not know this, weirdly, Anna and Elsa from Frozen are not Disney princesses. They make too much money for their own merchandise for them to fit into the Disney princess line. Fun
Interesting.
fact.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, it's all merchandising because they have to whatever. They're disqualified, ineligible. So, because the Frozen princesses are out of here, I have to go with the best Disney princess, being the one from the best Disney princess movie, which is Beauty and the Beast. Give me Belle to start this off. Belle is, I think, the greatest of these characters. She has such a great desire line. It's clear what she wants, how she's going to get it. She is a selfless character who sacrifices herself to save others. She's just a great character. The movie is fantastic as well, and her songs are pretty great too.
Yeah, I would say Belle is the quintessential Disney princess. While she may not be the first, she is what you think of when you think of a Disney princess. But I'm going to go with someone who was actually a princess before they married into it. And this princess can't stand up for herself, and she doesn't need a love interest. She can carry a movie all on her own, and I am going with Moana here in the first round.
Ooh, that was my next choice. Oh, man.
I feel like Moana just adds a very new element. I don't feel like there's another princess like her. Like, while Belle is the best, I feel like there's some that kind of had the same themes as Belle. But Moana, she's one of a kind. And speaking of one of a kind, I'm going to pair her with a fighter. I think the most badass princess. So give me Mulan.
Nice. I'm surprised you took Mulan because I know you're not a fan of that movie.
Like I said earlier in the show, if you're watching here on YouTube, we have a podcast version where we put all these episodes together. I said that Mulan, as a movie, I'm not a big fan of, but she's a great princess, and she's a great character, princess aside. Like, I really like her character. I just don't really like the movie around her. So that just speaks to how much I think she's just a great character written and acted and performed. And I'm going with the animated version for clarification, not the live action Mulan.
For my next pick, I'm going to have to go with another one of my favorite movies in this franchise, which is Sleeping Beauty. Give me Aurora. Now, Aurora might not be the most interesting princess, but oh my god, Sleeping Beauty is one of the best animated movies I've ever seen. It's gorgeous to look at. The story, I think, is really, really well done. And while Aurora's character is mostly like, she falls asleep and is asleep for most of the movie, she's still an iconic part of this incredible, incredible piece of art. I really think if you were looking at like these Disney movies, Sleeping Beauty stands out so much as just like a distinct, unique vision in an animated movie. It's hard for me to believe that it's like a Disney movie because it looks like it's doing things that like underground studios would have been doing around the same time. Great movie, and that's why it's my second pick. And for my third pick, give me Ariel. Ariel, I think, is just a great princess. I think that she has such a great energy to her, such a great joy of life. The act of discovery of longing to be a part of a different world, I think makes the character really, really strong, both in the animated version and portrayed by Halle Bailey. I think both of those versions of Ariel are just such a wonderful character who is so curious, who is so joyous, who just wants to discover everything they can. That's why I think that she's one of the best. She also has some of the best songs. Part of Your World, are you kidding me? That is one of the best Disney princess songs you could imagine. So that is a clear choice for me.
I think those are two great picks, but I would have my next two picks over them. So the first one I'm going with is Rapunzel. I think she's the princess with the best I Want song, as well as having, I think, the most fun movie. Well, it may not be the best movie. It's the movie when you can put on and just have the most fun, too. And I'm going to pair her with Jasmine, because I feel like she is a combo of Mulan. She's a combo of Rapunzel. She's a combo of Belle. She takes all those qualities, puts it onto one. She's a badass, she's a fighter, and she has an amazing I Want song, and she's very intelligent, and I think she adds a lot to Aladdin to really elevate the character of Aladdin as well as all those around her.
For my next pick, I'm going to take the OG, the original Disney princess. Give me Snow White. Now, Snow White might not be my favorite movie in this series. It might not be my favorite princess, but it is influential. Without this character, without this film, we wouldn't have animated movies in general the way that they are now. This film is the foundation on which everything is built. And for that, you have to give props to Snow White. Even if she's not the most interesting princess, what we have come to think of as a Disney princess is Snow White. The animals flocking around her as she sings her working song. It's so good. It's so nice. So sweet. And to finish off my team, give me Tiana from The Princess and the Frog. Tiana, this is another one where I would say The Princess and the Frog is not one of my favorite movies, but I think she has a great arc as a Disney princess. I think, like some of these other characters, she is a fighter. She is someone who dreams. She is someone who has to go out and seize what she wants, take it for herself. And that is always really admirable. She also has some great songs. Almost There is fantastic. And also, I think that the representation that we see in this movie is so important. The importance of representation cannot be understated. And when we're looking at influence with these characters, it is so important to have that black princess, for young black women to see themselves on screen, to see that character. Now, the unfortunate part of The Princess and the Frog, and the unfortunate part of so many of these Disney movies, is that when you have a really great, strong black character, they are often transformed into an animal for 90% of the movie. And I think that's the big downside of The Princess and the Frog and of Tiana. But Tiana herself as a character is great. I just wish that she got to be herself instead of being a frog for most of the movie.
So, I'm going to ask a question here. You can challenge it. Are we limiting this just to one version of the character, or can you take another version of the character?
I'd say if you take the character, you take both versions of the character. So okay. I'm going to say right now, if you have, like, Jasmine, you can't take the live-action Jasmine as well as the animated Jasmine.
Cool. I was going to take the live-action Ariel, but I'll let you have both. So that brings me here, and my second question, I guess, for clarification, are we doing former Disney princesses, or do they have to be current Disney princesses?
Ooh, I'm going to say current Disney princesses. Don't take Esmeralda from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Okay. Because I would have done it before now.
Cool. So that means I'm left with like 4 options. And to be completely honest, I don't really think any of these princesses are very good. They have big issues. Either they're in very bad movies, they're very badly represented in those movies, and whatnot. And while I personally like Raya from The Last Dragon, I know everyone hates her. So I'm going to avoid picking her because I don't want my team to tank. So I'm going to go with a princess who I don't think is represented very well in her movie, but she's very iconic, and her movie is one of the original ones that propelled Disney to be what they are today, and I am going with Cinderella. Well, as I mentioned, I don't think she's very well represented in the movie. She doesn't really get much to do, and her one goal is to marry a prince. I feel like the movie around her has some fun stuff, and as you mentioned, the live-action one, I think adds a lot of new elements for this character and gives her like a real persona and not just helpless and needs someone to save her. So I'm taking Cinderella for my last pick. That's more for the live action one than the animated one.
So on my team, I have Belle from Beauty and the Beast, Aurora from Sleeping Beauty, Ariel from The Little Mermaid, Snow White from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and Tiana from The Princess and the Frog.
Then I have Moana from Moana, Mulan from Mulan, Rapunzel from Tangled, Jasmine from Aladdin, and Cinderella from Cinderella.
That brings us to the end of today's draft. Make sure you head over to our YouTube community tab and vote, vote, vote. Whoever wins gets to go first next week, so make sure you go and let your voice be heard. Vote, vote, vote. And as always, thank you so much for watching. My name is Matt.
My name is Dyl, and this is Fantasy Filmball.